Welcome everybody to this month's Mangaku for March. Technically, we're doing Hinowa Ga Crush, which is from the same creator of Akame Ga Kill in the same universe and features Akame.
Yep.
So slightly related, possibly. Josh has not seen Akame Ga Kill.
I have not.
So you'll get kind of, I've seen and read Akame Ga Kill, so you get kind of a both flip sides
what
here.
What a scholar you are.
In case you're new to Mangaku, it's the show where we pick the first 3 volumes of a manga, we read them, and we review them and kind of give you guys a short spoiler-free version at the beginning, and then a completely spoiler-ridden half at the end.
Yep.
So we'll give you plenty of warning for the spoilers, so if you just want to know, is it good, what we think, and without as many spoilers as possible, that'll be for you now, and then come back later once you've read it and get the spoiler-free review.
Yep.
So, what did you think?
I liked it.
I did as well. I had a couple problems with the paneling. Yeah. The action was sometimes, I feel it got better in the later volumes.
Okay.
But I feel like sometimes, like an example, this isn't no spoiler.
Oh, okay.
Someone would throw something and then it would like hit them and I'm like, oh fuck, I must have missed them throwing something.
Okay.
I was like, oh, yeah. Okay. So I had to go back.
That happened a few times.
Yeah.
Something similar in that.
Yeah.
And yeah. So that's one of the issues I have with reading manga and it being an action thing. I feel like you can lose so much motion in that.
So that was a big problem for me in Haikyuu, which is the volleyball one.
Okay, yeah.
I tried to read the manga after liking the anime for so much, and it was just like, holy shit, I can't do it.
Okay.
I literally cannot do it. So the action, yeah, a little rough, but I think it got way better the more it went on. Same thing. I feel like the art style was fantastic.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like the faces on some of the people kind of looked a little weird, but I think that could just be personal preference.
I didn't notice that, but yeah, no.
So
I got nothing for you on
if you
that
could
one.
summarize this to someone who doesn't know what it is, what's the best way to summarize Hinowa Ga Crush?
I would say, so I mean, obviously we can't be fully spoiler free in just describing it, but it's basically a group of kids, and it's a war torn like country. Mm-hmm. So the way to get away with build yourself up in the world is to basically become part of the army.
Yeah.
And so that's their dream. And it's a bunch of young kids and basically their experiences with war and, dealing with other people. And, kind of just like Sam was saying, it's in the same universe as Akame Ga Kill. So, And
I think the big hook to get you into it is Akame, which she's on the fucking cover. She washes up on the beach.
Yeah.
And then she kind of integrates with them and their story going forward.
Yeah.
And it's pretty interesting. It's kind of like a feudal Japan sort of.
Yeah, it's got that
setup.
vibe. I really dug it. There was a lot of weird things that happened throughout it that made me very hard question. I feel like our eye contact right there is on the exact same thing. That's going to be the very first thing we talk in the spoilers. But I think it was good. Mm-hmm. I don't think it was over the top in any way, shape, or form. Like I don't feel like there was a lot of times where they could have had the envelope just fucking shoved out and you could have been like, oh, this is going to hurt or this is going to be really fucking cool.
Yeah.
And I feel like they tiptoed around stuff, but all in all, I think it was really fucking good.
Yeah. Very good action manga.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. And I think that's well established because I haven't watched Akame Ga Kill or read it, but from everything I've heard, it's just like, oh, that's fucking great. Like, it's always good. So that's like
it is a different artist from Akame Ga Kill though. So
that's right. Okay,
it is different. Same writer though.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I told you the other day, and it's less of a spoiler, but literally I don't know what it was. If Sam was able to just calculate this to a fucking T, but the 3rd volume always ends in the biggest cliffhanger.
I think the past 3 we've read have all been
plus size elf, like a new character was introduced.
Yep.
What was it? Why can't I? Yomi can't or Kami?
Komi can't communicate.
Komi can't communicate.
Yeah.
Was like on the verge of like, oh, their love is about to happen. I'm so bad at this.
And then I think it was just Machimaho. Right after that,
I was literally saying it like 8 times before.
That ended in the middle of a battle. So
with like the most badass situation that could possibly happen. So it's weird. And then this one went up the same.
Same thing.
Like,
big. And there's a very popular anime that a lot of you have seen, Demon Slayer. And it had a similar setup to how this ended.
Oh,
and that was one of the best parts of the anime. So I was so disappointed when I finally got to the last chapter and how it ended. I was like, ooh, I bet that's going to be good as fuck.
Yeah. I literally was reading it the other night in my bed and I just went, oh, fuck. Yeah. I was like, that was pretty cool.
Like, it ends right when you're gonna get a fuck ton of lore.
Yeah.
Like if it went for another chapter, it's like they're about to lore dump the fuck out of you.
Like it just like I really like lore. Like I played
Yeah.
World of Warcraft for a lot of years, and they had a very rich lore, and I would just sit there and spend hours. And so, like you said, you get that, and you're like, but I need to know more. What do I have to do right now? Just go buy the 4th volume, and just go.
It ends on a great spot. Really great. So, as someone who has not seen Akame Ga Kill, would you still recommend it to someone reading it? Did it make enough sense?
I don't think Akame being in it was enough of a pull.
Yeah.
I do think there was a few points I want to bring up in the spoiler, but at the same time, like it just felt like a good story.
Yeah.
I'm always going to think, I don't think anything's been told or hasn't been told. So there's always going to be those cliches and you kind of pull yourself out of it for a moment. But at the same time, I think that's the genre. Like you can't get away with that. And then some things just when you're reading it, they have to exploit or not exploit, do exposition on stuff.
Yeah.
So, but no, I really liked it. It actually makes me want to watch Akame Ga Kill now.
Yeah.
So I can find out
Which you should. It's great.
Yeah.
It's great.
I really need to invest more time. It's rough, but everyone says that. What I would ask you though is, would you continue reading this? Because I think that's my favorite question.
I would continue reading this 100%. I think I'm literally going to continue reading this because I've already watched Akame Ga Kill and then I went back and read all of it. So
it was that good for you?
Yeah, well, because it's slightly in case anybody doesn't know, the anime for Akame Ga Kill ends slightly differently than the manga does.
Oh.
And so they have slight little differences throughout. So I went back and reread the whole thing so I could get like the complete manga ending.
Is there a reason for that?
I don't know. I think the anime might have ended right before the manga was going to, so they kind of had to just I think they kind of got a George R. R. Martin situation where he gave them kind of like here's
where I want it, but
here's basically what I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
You guys can get there.
Yeah.
And then so they're just slightly different.
Gotcha.
But there is also a prequel manga to Akame Ga Kill, which is Akame Ga Kill 0.
I did see that. There was a lot of cool stuff in the beginnings and the ends where it wasn't related to the book, or maybe it was just lore. But I enjoyed.
So in that, I haven't read it all.
Oh, okay.
And that I was specifically waiting for it to be done because it's a prequel. It's like it's got to end eventually. But I think it's still ongoing. I haven't checked up it, but I love the universe and the writer.
So the universe
he's fucking like cutthroat with everything. So
see, that's what I was worried about going in because I had that in the back of my head, and there's some stuff that they kind of hit you real hard in the beginning. So I was sitting there, I'm like, good God, it felt like Game of Thrones for me for the first couple chapters, and I was like, like I was saying earlier, they kind of tiptoed around a few things, so I was like always on edge, and but yeah, no, it was good. I really liked it.
So it gets a double recommend.
Yeah. I'm almost certain if Jose was here, F in peace, but was it coronavirus? So we're confirming that.
We got everybody.
We got Danny and Jose. So it's really going to be me and Sam for the rest of the podcast too.
This is actually coming straight from our bunker
underground. Fucking God. Yeah, we just came back from Costco with 32 packs of Arrowhead water. No, should I say Dasani?
Don't worry about it. We already got the next manga pick as well, so you guys don't worry. So.
Yeah, we got a whole month. We can ride this shit out. But all right. So any last comments before we go into spoilers?
No, I would say check it out.
Yeah.
If you had to pick between Hinowa Ga Crush and starting Akame Ga Kill, I would start Akame Ga Kill first.
Okay.
It's not that big of a deal.
So you fucked me is basically what
you're
saying.
Well, it's not. It's not that big of a deal, but preferential. I would say do Akame Ga Kill first, and then switch over.
Did you have a preference? So I guess that's your answer. Is it more of because of the universe building?
Well, Akame Ga Kill is done. Like that's a complete story. So it's like it's unfair for me to be like, oh, Akame Ga Kill is better.
Okay.
Because this only got. I mean, it's got the 3 volumes we read.
Yeah.
So a little unfair, but I love Akame Ga Kill. I'm sure this is gonna get there too.
Yeah.
They're both good. They're both about like a group of people. So
are you hoping this gets an anime?
I'm hoping it will, and I bet it will.
Yeah.
People love Akame Ga Kill.
Good.
It is what it is.
That makes me happy.
Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and move into spoiler territory here.
Okay, you don't even have to add
so,
that.
That's your warning. There will be spoilers for probably Akame Ga Kill. Slight spoilers for that, and then possible spoilers for I haven't seen it, but Akame Ga Kill 0. I know that there's something in this manga that relates to that. Okay. So possible
Before
spoilers.
You start. Oh well, you let me know when we're ready.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna hit you hard.
So that's your warning. Pause the video if you haven't seen it yet, or if you care about spoilers, and then come back. Okay, we're starting. Okay, go ahead.
He fucks fish? What the fuck?
Dude, I was so caught off guard because they lay you up to it where he's like,
genius.
Bring me an octopus. And then they're like, we can only find a stingray. That'll do. And then it's just like he starts fucking it. It's like,
and it was in the same when you were saying when they throw a weapon and it kind of was like, oh, I'm not sure what happened. That I literally, and I've never had to stare at a page with a dude fucking a man or like a stingray.
I had a weird experience when I was reading the first.
Please don't tell me you fucked a stingray.
No, like because that's really in the beginning of the manga where you meet that guy where he starts fucking the stingray. I really liked actual Hinowa.
The mom.
Because in case you guys have also read it, you'll know. The actual Hinowa, who's the main character of the manga, her name is Hinata, right?
Yeah.
And she just takes on her mother's name.
Yeah.
The Hinowa in the beginning was a badass.
She's super fucking cool.
She was a cocky badass, and I was like, I love that.
Yeah, and what happened to her hurt me because, and like I was, so there was a point where I fucked up the video. So I was telling Sam, we were hanging out. He was trying to unlock some characters for a fucking shit game. Yep. And while that dragged on for what seemed like eternity, I read the first fucking volume, and I had to do a double take. I was looking at the original Hinowa. I was like, "Where's her fucking leg? What's wrong with her? Like, is she? She's gonna be okay." Yep. And then just got fucking yeeted, and then you see her, and she's totally fine, and she stands up, and you're like, "Oh, nice."
She healed.
Yeah, I was like, "What is in this water? This is a magical land. Yeah. Why do they call her Hinata? Does she have amnesia?" Yeah. And then I'm just sitting there like, Sam, it doesn't make sense. And he had to literally stop what he was doing, turn around. So the mom's dead, and that's her daughter. And I was like, oh.
You probably would have got that had you read a couple of more pages.
But I was so mindfucked.
Yeah, because I was too. I was really confused when I read that. And then later they're like, she starts kind of like self-monologuing where she's like, oh, I'm going to avenge my mom who died and take on her name. And then it's like, oh.
And it was like, when she started that way, I was like, I'm not going to like her character.
Because I was confused.
I'm taking my mom's name. Like, I'm going to do all this. Like, please shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
But she ended up being pretty cool.
I loved her mom, though. Which is so interesting because she's only there for a chapter.
Yeah,
she's there for a chapter. I'm like, I love her.
Yeah. And remember, I literally saw Fumoy, the fucking first guy. He's got like the starry eyes. I'm like, I told Sam, he's going to die. And so far, we're good.
Yeah.
And
he even shows back up.
And he's on Hinowa's team, and she's not letting anyone die, which is fucking great because if he dies, I'm going to cry. Because I've invested so much. A man cries too much for me to not cry about him. But also, I don't know if it was just a preference in the art. I think I talked to you about it. I brought these to work to try and read them. I had already finished volume 1. I brought 2 and 3 into work, and I was like, because we want to get these in. I want to make sure we're ahead of time. And so I put it down on our control desk at work, and so I had to open up the building. It takes like 45 minutes or something like that. And the new guy came in about a half hour in. And so everything's finally open. And we go up to the desk, and he starts moving the computer. He's like, oh, what's this? And I was like, oh, that's mine. He's like, he like moves it over, and I've talked to them at work. He's like, I help my friend run a podcast, and you know, we do this stuff, and I'll show him some videos. He's an audio guy.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, okay. And volume 1, you know, they have their bath scenes. Yeah. Everything's censored. Yeah. Volume 2, didn't get to it yet because I was gonna read it. Censored. Volume 3. Out of nowhere, just decides to have full fucking tit. Yeah. And like
of 5 or 6 different girls.
Seriously, and then I don't know, Yomahime in the fucking middle of it, I was like, oh, I didn't even catch this. Fucking tits too. I'm like, this was not needed. Yeah. I'm not complaining. However, my coworker picks up volume 3. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, this is pretty cool. He starts looking at artwork. It's like, yeah, this looks nice, actually. This is pretty cool. And tits. And he's like, whoa, bro. And he's like, you shouldn't have this out. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And I look over, full fucking bath scene, tits everywhere. And I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ. And I was like, bro, that. And he literally started on the first couple pages, then, you know, started in the back. Mm-hmm. And that's where the tits are at. Yeah. And I was like, dude, you gotta like, no, like that's not how it was. The first volume was totally fine. Like they do the bath scenes, but that's normal and most shit. And he's like, bro, I've never seen tits that big before in my life. And it was just like so awkward. And he sets it down, and he's already gone through all of volume 3. He's literally just fingered through it. He picks up volume 2 and he starts looking for more tits. I'm just like,
my man. He's like, well, I'm already this deep. He's like, might as well look for some more.
And so it was hella awkward. And it's a 3-story building.
Mm-hmm.
Our office is on the 2nd floor. All of our event space is on the 1st floor. So I got stuck having to run a show or getting involved in a show. And this was on the control desk. And he was going upstairs. I'm like, bro, like I was going to walk this up. I was going to go get my laptop. Can you just get this up there? And he's like, yeah, just hand it to me. And fucking took it up there, and he put it face down so it wasn't like you didn't see the front of it. And I was like, oh, thank God. But it was so awkward. I'm like, that would have been awful if I'm on good graces with a lot of our executives and a lot of my bosses and stuff. And so if they just came in and like, oh, what you doing here, Josh? Pull that. Oh, it was like, yeah, and. It's just wild.
As someone who read that part at home, I was like, hell yeah,
it
brother.
was great.
Hell yeah. They even gave people different type of nipples. So
my God, you noticed.
Right?
I saw the innies. I was like, nice.
Yeah.
A man of taste. This
representing. So
it was great.
Like, okay, cool. So to rewind back to volume 1. So the reason I preface that there's Akame Ga Kill spoilers, because the moment Akame shows up and like starts talking to everybody, she immediately spoils Akame Ga Kill. Like
her friend becomes, and it's weird.
You could say her. So she basically shows up. She's like, "Hey, I need to figure out how to cure this curse on me, and I need to figure out how to turn my friend back from being a dragon."
And so what happened to me, because I haven't watched that or read it, I was like, did this end on a shit fucking note? Like, she's fucked.
Yeah.
And so,
I thought it wasn't going to be so bad. I thought and I think they also hint, I don't know 100%, but when she shows up, I think they hint that this is 1,000 years into the future or something like that.
They did make it seem like it's been, so
they don't
confirm
it, but
she's like, oh, I read a book and it's from 1,000 years ago. And
like that book that she read had stuff about her, like, place.
Yeah, and there was some other stuff where they kind of made it seem like you're not normal. I was kind of glad when they started demoing Yomohime between her and Akame, which also I've got another gripe with that situation. Yomohime, I'm glad she's not from Akama.
Yeah.
I was sitting there, I'm like, so it's just going to be like the most powerful characters are from a different world. So it's like, oh, I'm halfway between a freak and a human. And it's like, okay, I want to know more about you now.
Yeah.
And she can't control her powers well. It's like, this is cool. Like, I like that. My main gripe was, dude, Hinowa's a fucking badass. Like, she's a fucking commander now. And Hisame is a general. And it's like, wow, this is nuts. Also,
I think Hisame is a commander. And I think it's the other way around.
Wait, is he a commander?
I think he's the high rank commander
and
now.
she's a general
now.
And then the rest of then
like
Tabari not getting captain until everyone else has gotten captain was great.
And he had to ask for it.
Yeah, it's just like, you get it.
Yeah.
But it was literally like, dude, she's a fucking badass. Everyone's fucking killing on this team. Hisame killing a fucking commander. I was like, okay, like the one big dude comes out and just gets murdered.
I thought that was so, like, that part for me was a little
yeah,
because that's so cliche. I was just like, we're gonna send out our big strong guy. It's like, he's dead. All right, let's fast forward.
And he got nothing.
Yeah.
And then Suzumaro comes out, or I think I'm saying
which was a cool fight. Like,
it was.
That was a cool fight.
He's one of my favorites.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Because he fucking plays everyone. Yeah. I was just like, that's so cool. And
I love that he acted like he got fucked up.
And he's like, why are you doing that? Oh.
He's just saying, like, even the guy's like, hey, I respect you for trying.
Yeah, like, I really like that whole fight. Like, everything involving.
So the writer does a really good job. He even does it in Akame Ga Kill, where he makes the villains, like, somehow likable.
Yeah.
Because, like, the villain, like,
he was a piece of shit.
Yeah, in the third volume, I think he's pretty much only the third volume. Is he the second volume at all?
I think he's
maybe
starts in the second,
So the main bad guy, he's trying to conquer this castle that they're in. He's
got a hard name to pronounce.
Yeah. He's an awful person. Just
like,
straight up awful
people.
person. You, like, make shit out of people.
Yeah.
Bad. But it's like, you can't help but fucking like him.
He reminded me of a more fucked up version of Hidan.
Yeah.
And I was like, this guy, and he's got the slick back hair, which I think was another thing
to describe that.
But yeah, he was cool, and I liked his and Yomihime's relationship. I was just sitting like, you are horrible people. Like, all awful people.
Yeah. I like them both, though.
It was so cool.
I like them both. It's just like,
she literally murdered your favorite character.
I know, but I like them both.
And we got to see titties. So I mean, we didn't get to say we saw Hinowa's titty. Yeah. We saw Hinowa's titty, but not Hinowa's titty.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
You're right.
You know. But yeah, but the thing that I had like the most gripe with was, okay, everyone's a fucking badass, like fucking sick. Yomihime's involved. Better send Akame over there because we're fucked.
I think they did a very good job of because you would have a problem you'd run into where because Akame Ga Kill has had a full run of a manga,
she's already
like boom, like you can't have her running around.
Yeah.
So they do a very good job of they sideline her for most of the first manga.
And she was doing cool stuff. Yeah. Like good stuff.
She goes off and does her own thing. She's like, hey, I'm going to go do this thing. It's like damn, okay, cool. And they basically set it up where it's like she's still recovering from being in a fucking shipwreck.
Yeah.
You know, that's how she got there.
And the curse.
Yeah, and she's got a curse. And so she still feels weak. And then they're gradually upping her. Like boom, 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 boom. But they make it very clear where it's like, oh, she's still not 100%.
Yeah, they gimped her.
Yeah, which has to be done. But even when she's gimped, they do a great job of being like, all right, the main focus is on the main 5 or 6 people. Yeah. She's going to go do something else.
Yeah, so she's not the main focal point. It's not riding on her.
Yeah, because you can't, like, it would be kind of lame if they introduce all the new characters.
And it's just
like, oh, but the crutch is Akame. But it's like, it's not. They do a good job of, this is your main people.
Yeah.
Akame's there, and she's a badass, but she's over there.
And part of me, so when the elder, which is obviously he was a Tenro commander. Let's just be real.
Yeah, yeah. He was someone very important in Tenro.
Yeah,
very, very important.
He was probably, I'm feeling like whoever the king or whatever we want to call him.
I feel like he could be the ex-king. Like he's
the ex-king or he's like the father of the current king. He's cool. I like him, but he's like, oh, I can like cure your curse for a momentary time. I was like, that's gonna be a fucking like crippling thing in the next few volumes. Like, oh, I'm good now. I'm like super. Oh, it disappeared. You know what? Go in.
I hope I see it. Like, cause that'll be such a cool moment. As someone who's read Akame Ga Kill, if she for a second goes like full power, it's like, oh, someone's fucked. And it's like it's donezo.
But the other issue I had is there was no contest.
Yeah.
Between her and Yomihime.
Yeah.
Like it was genuinely like, Yomihime came in and just murdered people. Yep. Like, Hinowa didn't have a fucking chance. She did okay. Then new Hinowa was doing okay. The whole team was fighting her, but they couldn't do jack shit. And Akame comes in. Let's have a little fight, you know? Oh, it's okay. And then fucking Yomihime's like, okay, no more fucking games. And goes full salvo and is like borderline losing her shit. And Akame's like, ugh. I'm going to have to do something about that.
Because I think it's interesting. It's kind of like an interesting show where you don't know because like Akame, so the whole thing set up is she used to be part of a group of assassins.
Yeah.
So she's done nothing but murder people.
Yeah.
So that's she kind of mentions that a couple times about Hinowa where she's like,
I
want to keep her like pure and nice. As much as I can. I don't want her to do the dirty bits, I think is what she says at one point. Like all of the shitty bits of war, she's like, I'll do that.
Yeah. Oh, that's right.
Yeah. She's gonna take that bullet for her.
And it's like it's not a motherly thing. It's not like a weird love thing. It was just such a like I want to protect you. Yeah. And it was so cute.
Yeah. And it's like a lot of people. It's a running thing through the series where it's like people like she starts talking to me and she's like, oh, she puts me at ease. I like her. She just has that personality where she like. So basically, Akame wants her to keep that.
Yeah.
So and I think the battle between Himohime, whatever her name
Yomihime.
is, Yomihime and Akame, it's like an interesting. She thinks she's been good, but it's like then this other chick shows up and she's like, I've done nothing but fucking murder people.
Yeah.
And that was my profession. It's like, all right, go. And then it's like, oh, fuck.
And like they don't hold back. Like there's times when she murders the fucking ninjas.
Yeah.
And then they're like, who are you? And then she flies away.
Yeah.
I don't like obviously.
I think that's her just jumping. Like just.
But it's a fucking explosion. Yeah. Like I get it. But. There's no contest right now. Like,
I thought one of the coolest parts, though, was totally a non-action part. And I just thought that was like, yeah, that's badass. Where they're all getting their new ranks at the end of Volume 3.
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to promote Akame. And he's like, nah, she wants to stay a foot soldier. And it's like, well, let's just promote her into ninja. Nah, she said she could do more as a foot soldier.
Yeah, I was like could you imagine that kind of clout?
Yeah.
I hate that commander too.
Yeah.
Like,
he cracks me up, man.
Yeah.
He cracks me up.
He saw me. He's like, sir, you should change your pants. I was like, wow.
Yeah.
The guy just saved your.
I love the fact that he fucking loves his Hame.
Yeah. He's I made him commander because he can never leave my side.
Like at one point he's like, oh, send Hinowa, but don't send Hame. It
was so funny. And then like when the fucking catapult hit and he just stood there and like, wow, he is so fucking like he can't be moved.
Yeah.
his eyes are rolled back. Like, there's some good comedy too, but the cool thing, like you were talking about, Hinowa, like Akame trying to protect her from the dirty bits. You see, like, very firsthand, like, they cleave people, and they're like, Suzumaru is like, oh fuck, like, this is kind of crazy. Like, we just, like, he stabbed a dude through the neck with a pole arm, and he's like, oh my god, I can't believe they did that. And then they kind of like held for a second, like, wait, no, we got to do this, and then they just start being badasses the whole time. Also, here's the gripe that I remember from Volume 1.
Go ahead.
Tabari gets cleaved in fucking half at the very end, and then you see her on the fucking cover, and I'm like, oh, she's not dead, is she?
Yeah.
And then it's like, oh, I dodged because of my vitals. And I that was one of those cliche moments where I was like, okay, we had to pull ourselves out a little bit. There's some exposition and stuff like that.
I like to think that was kind of like for the old school Akame Ga Kill fans, because he's notorious for just like, I'm just killing everybody.
Okay.
So I think that was kind of like those, oh, look, he's doing it again. Psych.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, you killed the first main character. You killed the cool friend that was like a bat. Oh my god, like, calm the fuck down.
Yeah.
But so let's talk about the 10 stars.
Oh my god.
Because
I do have something to say about 10 stars, which is why I referenced Akame Ga Kill 0.
Okay.
Apparently, the guy who shows up at the end of the second to last chapter.
Yes.
So where he's like, oh, we're getting a summons, and cool guy with eye patch.
He's the end of third chapter. It's like end of like the chapter just before the end.
Yeah, second to last.
Second to last, but it's in the third volume.
Yeah.
Okay, I apologize.
Yeah, and then he's also at the end of the very last chapter because he comes and gets Hinohime or whatever her name is.
Yomihime.
Yomihime. I'm gonna get that right eventually. He is apparently from Akame Ga Kill 0.
Oh.
And I did not know that. I had no idea, because I thought it was weird that they put such a front-facing thing on this guy when he first showed up. It's like,
you knew damn well he fucks though.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, oh, summons. Like, oh my god.
Yeah.
Like, that was when I said, oh fuck.
It's just like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
And then so I was just like looking at it, I was like, he's got to be someone.
Yeah.
He has to be someone, because just the way that because that was like a reveal. They're like, boom. It's like, oh,
yeah,
okay.
And like I said, you just knew the guy fucked.
So I went to the Akame Ga Kill wiki, which only has stuff on Akame Ga Kill. So I was trying to figure out, is he from that? Because he's got a thing, and apparently he's from the prequel.
Okay,
that's all I'm gonna say about it. I didn't look anymore. Once I saw he's from Akame Ga Kill 0, I was like, okay, got it.
So now I'm starting to think, because when he shows up, they immediately clash with him and Yomihime, and he's like, oh, that was a new attack. I'm starting to now think, when you say this, is Yomihime from Akame Ga Kill 0?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think Yomihime, the whole reference with that is that Yomihime is learning from Akame. I think is what is happening. So she's like adapting to fighting Akame. So he like, and he's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I think she's like
good.
learning from. So I think it's kind of interesting that Yomihime and Hinowa, they're both learning from Akame, but in different ways. So I think that's what they're kind of paralleling with
like
that.
The student versus like the okay.
I think that's what that is. And then this new guy that is showing up, I think he's gonna be like the Akame, but for the bad side. Where it's like
they are hyping him.
He is also from because from the east. Because I think they say that at the end that he comes from the far, far east also.
Yeah, and then they did the full sweep of all 10 stars. So I guess it's the same gripe I had with Hisame being able to murder what's his face, Hidan. We're just gonna call him Hidan.
Yeah, sure.
I was just like, okay, these guys, this is their second battle. I understand they've killed pirates. I understand they're being trained by this super cool dude.
Well, some of them are fishermen and stuff, so like they all have different like jobs that they used to do.
Yeah, and he's a merchant's son.
Yeah,
and he's a bastard's merchant son, and he's a fucking badass. Like between him and Suzumaru,
it's the power of love.
Oh my god, I love that. It was so adorable. But anyway, we'll get. But the two of them, fuckboy, I can't. Kami Sachi, he was Sachi.
No idea.
The guy that the bow and arrow guy.
Oh yeah, he's cool.
He's funny. He's
great with the bow and arrow.
He actually, you're right. He was the one part where I was like, oh wow, he's actually good at this. It was when he was breaking the ladders.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I got to shoot him in the joints. I was like, where did you come from? Like, actually, he was good all the other times, but he was like smart, and they made him captain or something. I was like, not a good idea.
Yeah,
not a good idea. But him, like Hisame and Suzumaru, their combo together, the two of them, if I saw them fight one person or like a tag team, I feel like that's gonna be genuinely my favorite fight in the comic or in the manga.
Which they're keeping them together.
Yeah,
they're like when he got the commander, he's like, "You're staying with him." It's like, yeah.
It was just so they complement each other. It's like, hey, I'll do all the recon. You get the fucking like. This guy is the good one. Yeah, we'll hype him up, but at the same time, we both could probably do this.
Yeah.
And so it was a little weird to see these kids have that much like fucking power. I know the Mayhow weapons were a thing. They also kind of just went. They just like, oh yeah, we have Mayhow now.
Yeah, like that was very quick.
We killed a giant.
But I think a lot of that we're
monster.
gonna find out has to do with the sensei guy. I think that's all gonna be like, oh yeah, he's actually like some really prominent guy.
Yeah.
So that's why they're all so strong because he's been training them,
And I think that's fair. But so it was kind of cool, and then to see that Yomihime is part of the 10 stars, but now Akame is fucking her up, and you're telling me that she's not even there yet.
Yeah.
I'm just sitting there like, are the 10 stars going to be cool?
So I think generally what is going to happen is Akame will be sidelined a lot.
The curse will take over.
Yeah, she'll be sidelined is what would be my guess. And here's what I will really see happening. She is probably going to fight a lot with a guy who also comes from her place. So the eye patch guy who gets shot. I imagine they're going to clash a lot. And then you already know Yomihime and Hinowa are going to clash a lot. Yeah. And then whatever. But I think that's going to be so cool.
Yeah. I am not complaining. I'm just worried that if Akame is like that fucking strong. Yeah. Just obnoxiously strong.
Because it definitely is, because the main villain for Akame Ga Kill is way stronger than this Yomihime bitch.
Oh, really?
Way stronger.
And they make her seem like a fucking badass.
Yeah, so I don't think it compares, but I think they're doing a great job of kind of keeping it that way for now. But they will have a problem if like they ever go like, hey, Akame's good. She's good. Yeah. It's like, okay, so
it's like that shit game where you pick the character and 300 seconds in, he comes in, just one punches somebody. Yeah. Wouldn't know what the game is. Yeah. It's toxic.
I think it would be very similar to that. Like if the next volume started like, hey, we're going to check in on Akame. Hey, we cured you. You're all good. You're back to 100%. Do what you want to do. Here's your old weapon, by the way. We found it. It'd be like, oh, shit. It's like, all right, Akame could just be like, I'm going to be right back really quick. I'm going to go swing over to the Tenro Nation real
just
quick.
F them, you know?
Yeah.
But so what I didn't like, and I told you when I first started reading finished the first volumes, and I'm kind of glad we talked about it, they didn't make it all about Akame. I was genuinely pissed that as somebody who hasn't read Akame Ga Kill, she immediately opens up with her lore and says, hi, I want to be able to turn my friend a freak.
Yeah.
Back, and I was like, cool, so now I know like a main plot line. Yeah. And this curse thing's weird. But I don't like the freaks. I know that's weird to say.
That did kind of come out of nowhere, I feel like.
They were really prominent. They weren't there at all in the beginning. Yeah. Or they were only for the fish, but they...
Well, it's like, did they even call them freaks at the beginning? Because they mentioned, like, I feel like they're like, oh, there's sea monsters out there, whatever. You go get one.
Well, when original Hinowa cuts that thing in half, they're like, oh, this is a nutrient-rich freak. And it's like, okay. It's weird that they're using that as a term, but it wasn't, like, a special name. Okay. It's just monsters. Yeah. But... then they sideline that like almost completely, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, you want the most cool weapon?
I think that's fine, because as long as it would be more, it'd be a lot more dumb if they didn't mention it at all in the beginning, and then like, oh, surprise, there's these things called freaks.
Yeah.
At least they planted the seed, and they're like, hey, just there's a bunch of fucked up monsters and shit running around.
And apparently Akame's friend has turned into a freak, or whatever they call him in Akame Ga Kill.
Yeah.
So now that opens up a bunch of questions like, are these people? They were saying the arachnid.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, the arachnids are more humanoid, so they're able to like work with them. Yeah. And then the Mayhow thing was like, why freaks? Like
I think it's literally just they use their bones, so it's like it just makes it strong.
It's not metal kind of thing like that. Yeah. Like to me, it was just weird because as I said earlier, I play a lot of World of Warcraft. Their gimmick the last few expansions has been like, hey, we've got this one very powerful specific thing. The entire game is cruxed on this. Yeah. And now it's like freaks. It's like they're kind of pointless, but they're also the most important thing, because now your Mayhow is based off of freak.
I kind of picture it as, it almost comes off to me as kind of like a zombie type movie.
Oh, okay.
Where they're there, but like let's take The Walking Dead for example. I haven't even
Okay.
fucking seen it, but I know that
It's
they're
not
kind
really
of like
there.
they're kind of like the side drama, but really the drama's between the people.
Yeah.
Where it's like, hey, there's these fucked up things.
Like they've caused some issues,
Yeah.
but they're not the reason.
Yeah,
for
and I'm
the
sure
drama.
they'll come back into play constantly. Like,
Yeah.
they'll fuck shit up because they mention it too, where they're like, yeah, this happens all the time.
And I was like, what?
Yeah, yeah, like this is not abnormal.
Yeah.
Like, and like her dad, who's the blonde hair chick? What's her name?
Tabari?
Yeah, her dad
Love
shows
him.
up, and he's great. He's
He is
really
fucking
great.
cool. It was weird at the end of one of the volumes. I can't remember which, but they do like the expositions
Yeah.
on some of the characters, and they bring him up, and they're like, "Oh, he's normally a coward." I'm like,
Yeah.
"At what fucking point?"
Well, she mentions that he's like doing a speech about like teamwork. He's like we work together, we can see. Like he brings everybody together.
Yeah.
He's like if we work together, we'll take him down. Like everybody just stay close. And she's like, why are you so different than
Yeah.
when you're at home?
And it was just funny, and she's like, "Oh, look at me, I'm caring about my dad." And
Yeah.
stuff. It was like, yeah, but
I felt like when she said that, like I can relate to that so hard because
Yeah.
it's like being at work, normal, having a good time, come home, it's like I'm beat.
yeah,
It's like I just want to do fucking nothing.
yeah,
So it's like I get so relate to that. Where it's like imagine coming home from war, you're like, oh fuck, like
yeah. And he's like, I don't want to be doing
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
But no, he was genuinely. They kind of pushed him in out of nowhere.
yeah.
So one of the characters that, and this is a very long spoiler review. But I think
We
there's
like it. I think that's a good. That's a good.
There was a lot of things to pull from
Yeah.
it. Which like I was saying, there was kind of like a lot of exposition where they just explained it or kind of forced it into
Yeah.
your hand. Like, why do you know so much about the Tenro Nation, Sensei? Fuck, I don't know.
He says something sassy
It
back,
was
and it's
just
like we know.
Yeah, I was like, wow, you just thanks for handing that to me.
Yeah.
But one of the things was what was I gonna say? The random like Kobu or something, the emo dude.
oh yeah.
And I'm
yeah.
starting to think, I'm like, is he Judas? Like, is he gonna fuck us over? Because he's like, oh, I love her, and like she's, she kind of supported me.
they set that up in the beginning where they're like, oh, this is gonna be the scumbag guy of the group.
Yeah,
where
he's
gonna
gonna
fucking
fuck us
ruin
all.
everything. But then Hinowa wins him over. And
Yeah.
I don't feel that way anymore.
I definitely leaving it, but it's part of like still in the back of my head because I was like, this
Yeah.
guy's gonna fuck us.
I think if I had to place a bet on it, he will give his life for Hinowa. I really do think.
That's a good
Because
idea.
I think they set that up where he's kind of a coward. He doesn't want to die a fucked up death.
Yeah.
But he's like basically like, oh, Hinowa is the best. Like,
yeah.
and
And he's like, oh, she's really going out of her way to
Yeah.
like hold these ranks.
so
and she's
I
like,
think
I'm
he
really
will
glad
give
to
his
hear-
life for her at
That's-
some point. So
Yeah, I'm not ready for them to turn that around because I
Yeah.
feel like they really coddled us.
Yeah.
Like Tobari
Yeah.
should have died. Hinowa fucking died, and
yeah,
that was rough.
Hisame even at one point when he's fighting the guy, the commander, he blocks all of his vital
What the
points.
fuck was that move, by the way?
I thought that was sweet. I thought that was really sweet. Where he like stabbed him and then he's like, I got him, and he just like, oh wow, he perfectly blocked all
yeah,
his
he's like,
vital
he notices too. I was like, what? Like maybe I'm not used
Yeah.
to war, but how do people do that? Where they're just like,
But I do like how they're keeping an emphasis on the fights being very quick.
yeah,
They're like, because it is war. It's like,
Mhm.
okay. And even Hisame is like, I got to end it quick. It's
I
like,
gotta end it in 1 second.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo,
Yeah, like they keep a very good job of doing that. Like, I don't want to fuck around with this.
it did stress me though.
Yeah.
Because like the whole time they were really pushing. Do not go out there. Do not fucking fight this
Yeah.
guy. Like he will fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And then Suzumaru's like, I'm a foot soldier. Just let me in, boy. And he goes out there and fucks shit up.
Yeah.
He gets stabbed. I'm like, the dude just got stabbed in the chest from the underground.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, you got me. And then he just stands up.
Tricked you.
All right, I got to go back in, boys.
Yeah.
And then Hisame is now finally caught in a corner. I'm like, oh my God, he's going to die.
Yeah.
He's literally going to fucking die right now. There's no chance. And then he just ends it.
So
and,
good.
What thing that really sold me that this was Hidan? His head was cut off and
He
he
kept
talking.
talking. Yeah.
And I was just like, so part of me,
I loved where he was like, I don't remember the exact wording of it, but he was like, I'm going to be watching and laughing at you from hell. It
Yeah.
was like, oh, that's so good.
So-
What a great final last words. Like a fuck you.
but I don't think that's his final last words.
Oh, you don't think so?
I think that guy is so fucked up that this is part of his plan.
Oh.
Like the way that whole thing
that
went
would
down,
be a crazy call.
he's gonna be in. They're gonna hold his head as a trophy.
Uh-huh.
The dude's done fucked up shit. I'm
Yeah.
doubting that there's magic already that's been established. The dude is probably Hidan. And I'm sitting there just
crossover.
and it's gonna be fucking. We gotta blow him up and throw him in a pit again.
Yeah.
And so the fact that he was still able to talk after his head gets cut off, maybe it's that cliche like, wow, this guy is really fucking insane.
Yeah.
Or a part of me thinks like he's gonna get in, see what's going on, and he has a way to get that information back because his ninjas were fucking worthless.
Yeah, true.
His commanders were probably intelligent and they knew this was going to be a bad idea, but he murdered them and then made them into a tea kettle.
Yeah.
It was some weird shit.
Yeah.
But when I saw that, I was like, yeah, I feel like something could be happening here. Which, if it doesn't, it was still a cool scene. If it does, I want $50 from you. So, but yeah, it was all really cool. I'm hoping we get to see more titty in Volume 4.
Yes.
I feel like there's a lesbian couple that's going to be happening with the young girl and the big titty girl with the inverted nipples.
Yeah.
Feel like that's happening. They're kind of pushing that. People are going to fucking die soon.
How happy were you for Hisame and the princess?
Oh my god! I was just like,
I loved that part so much.
So,
where I'm like rooting for him. Like, I get a little worried though. I kind of get. Have you seen Berserk?
I have not.
I kind of get vibes of that where the main like really attractive guy, he wanted to date a royalty, and then it all goes to shit. So I kind of get a little worried over that.
Yeah, she seems very genuine.
She seems like she straight wanted to date him on the spot.
Oh
like
my
when she,
God,
where
yeah.
she's like, "Oh, will you protect me from my sister and my mother?" I was like, "Oh, she wants it. She wants it." And he doesn't get it. And it's like, "Oh, classic."
And, I mean, she remembered him though. Like that hurt. So one of the things I had a real issue with was Fuckboy and Hisame. I could never like. They would always do like a back shot.
Yeah.
And they have a similar style haircut where they have the shaved sides and long hair on top. Fuckboy has a shorter little thing. And so when the spider freaks hit, I see the princess get saved.
Yeah.
And then the next panel is Fuckboy being like, "Oh, we got this." I was like, "Wait, did he save the princess?" I'm so mad.
Like, yo, back off, bro. He already called dibs.
And then he turns around and it's like, "I'll protect you," and then fucking wreck shit. Like, everyone,
you did. I'm just now remembering that you said that the big. Why can't I? Who's the big tit lady? That we shouldn't even call her that.
Big titty.
What's her name? Inverted nipple chick.
She doesn't really talk
nipple
about
chick. She wanted to date Hisame. Remember?
Yeah.
So I don't think
that.
the lesbian romance will be happening.
Oh, I think she could be bi. It's just the other girl's like, "Oh, I hate guys." Yeah.
She had a very cool line though, where she was like, "Well, the only way to make money was to sell my body, and I hate men, so I just sold it to the." I was like, "Oh, I like that. That is cool.
Fucking dope.
That is cool." But yeah, the princess seems legitimately good.
Yeah, I feel like if there is the fucked up thing, it's the family.
Yeah,
it's always the family.
I
dude.
feel
the girl's
like there's gonna
great.
be some political bullshit that gets involved, and like they're gonna fuck over Hisame really bad.
And part of me was a little weird. Like I didn't like that he's basically like, I'm doing this for love.
Yeah,
and you're like, oh, who?
Well, so is the other guy, and you don't know who he's doing it for.
He's gay.
You think so?
He's a trap, and he's totally gay.
Oh, who do you think he's gay for?
I think it's Hisame.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
I was seeing love triangle happening.
That's total. That's because his brother asked him like, "Oh, is you work with two girls?" And he's like, "No, it's neither of them."
But like, he could be lying.
No, I don't think he's lying about that because I think that's a scene they show you for on purpose. Where they're like, "Yeah, it's not."
I think it's Hisame.
That is that could totally be true.
Yeah,
100% that could be true.
Because they didn't make him seem like a trap until he went out to go fuck up Hidan, and it's like, oh, that girl's really fucking cool.
I thought he was. I was confused at a couple parts, like, because I was like, is he a girl? Is he a guy? So I definitely got that vibe.
Okay, yeah, no, I didn't. And then when he was fighting Hidan, they did a close up of his face. I'm like, okay, I see it now.
Yeah,
but yeah. I think he's in love with Hisame.
That's a great call.
Yeah,
that's a great call. I think you're right. I would back you on that real hard.
Thank you. I appreciate that. $50, man.
Yeah.
But yeah, Hisame and the princess, which I can't remember her name. That was super fucking cute. I loved all of that. Yep. I wasn't sure how I felt about them revealing that so quickly because it was basically like, oh, he's gonna do it for love, and then all of a sudden, oh, she's there, and exposition like. Wait, and Akame is the one that did it. It was like, wait, is that the one he likes?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah.
I love though when they I think while that's happening, Hinowa's crew is all like eating, and someone turns around and is like, hey, Hinowa, and then she's gone, and you just see Akame there with a mouthful of fish, and she's just got like the dopey drawing, just like enjoying.
It reminded me of Komi.
Yeah, it totally did. I was like, I like that.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah. But when Hinowa was like comforting Hisame, it's like, oh, you did a good job, and just wails on him on the back. I was like, she's good, but she doesn't know how to do this. Like, it was kind of funny.
I thought it was the only part about Hisame that I thought was like, I felt like that was a little out of character, but it is war. What I'm about to say, when he held up the head and he like declared himself the victory.
Yeah,
I thought that was a little like, I don't feel like that matches his character.
Yeah,
but
they've kind of painted his character without painting it though. Like they were like, oh, he's very like emotional and passionate. It's like,
but he's like emotional passion, but doesn't really show it.
Yeah,
like he doesn't know the correct way to show it. Like
Yeah.
he's confused.
yeah.
And then it's like he just declares him, like holds us up like this brutal head and declares himself the winner.
I was like, are you gonna show
a little
the
weird,
princess?
but I'll let it. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like I'll let it go by because he wants like the only thing he wants is to fucking rank up. So it's
Yeah.
like he's taking advantage of it.
And dude, when they were like, you need to break a piece of armor, I was like, why?
Yeah,
I was like, yeah.
I was on the same page with him.
And I was like, part of me was like, well, that's a good piece of armor. What the fuck?
I thought they were gonna give it to him.
And like useless boy over there got fucking murdered, and that's his ritual. I was like, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
But I get why it made sense. But at the same time, I was like,
just a show of strength. That's literally all it is.
But it was
because like nobody saw him murder the general, because it was like in like a
Yeah.
little alley thing.
But I was like, yeah, I could do it. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like that's the other disconnect, and I think it's gonna go away slowly as you read more. But it's kind of just like they're too powerful. But then you
But I think that's getting set up for them to get knocked the fuck down. Like,
yeah,
I think they're setting that up
they
hard
rank so quickly
because they're steamrolling really hard right now.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna get knocked the fuck down at one point.
I think I feel like they're gonna get put into a real situation where I don't think that last commander was. They made him seem so good at fighting.
Yeah.
Like he killed that one dude. I know.
I don't think Hadan. We're talking about Hadan, right? I don't think Hadan was like set up to be very good at fighting. He had like a really special weapon, which is now up for grabs, by the way. I don't know if anybody grabbed that thing.
Good point. Yeah.
No, they didn't mention it. I assume the spear guy took it.
Yo-yi.
But they kind of set him up. Even fucking Hinohime. Did I say that right? Hinohime.
Yomi-hime.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Yomi-hime
could fuck him up.
Sets him up. Yeah. She could fuck him up, but she constantly says that they want him for his brains. Like that's what they want him for. Is like that he's a smart inventor.
Yeah.
It's like that's what they're not.
His
they don't want him for his
technology.
combat prowess.
But they made like he fucked that one dude up.
Yeah.
Like no matter what you say, that guy was a commander. Like they threw him away.
Yeah.
So that was a cool tactic though. Just like I just want to do a one-on-one.
It reminded me a lot of Troy.
It did.
A lot of Troy.
It was that, and it kind of felt like there was a scene. It felt like it was a scene in Game of Thrones that I saw too, where it's just like, 1v1 me, bro.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
Trial by combat.
Yeah, we got people. We'll fuck you up. No, just 1v1.
Yeah.
And I like how it ended up like working against him.
And even he admits that he like goes back to camp. Well, that worked the other way. It's just like,
but like the
so
whole time
good.
it was just like, yeah, okay, well that didn't work, and he would get all frustrated, and Yomihime would kick him. It's like, oh, this is a cute fucking relationship.
And I generally like how both Yomihime and Hadan, they both kind of can realize it's like, okay, pull back.
Yeah.
Like they never full balls to the wall.
They always did that.
They constantly were like, okay, yep, go back, let's go back. And it's like, okay, cool. So they're not just stupid.
Yeah, they did establish that, and then Hisame just got under skin, which was awesome.
It's so good.
I
guess he got that intel from somewhere. It's like, yeah,
it was
he does
Suzumaru.
Yeah.
He's just like, okay, this is how you fight him.
Yeah.
And it was like, Jesus Christ, this dude literally had a 30-second battle with this guy. It's probably longer.
Yeah.
But it was just like, that kid's god tier.
Yeah.
Like he's Shikamaru. Like I don't want to make it all fuck. Hidan fought Shikamaru. Oh my god. Oh, I just made that. But yeah, it was super cool. What else is there to talk about? I feel like.
Well, do we want to wrap it here? I mean, we fucking expositioned the fuck out of this thing.
I feel like you could have just watched this.
Spoiler
free, you know.
We just recap the first 3 volumes. We liked it a lot. If you can't tell, really good.
I can guarantee you Jose liked it too.
Yeah, I 100%.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the next manga that we're going to do for next month. It'll be April's Mangalku. So we're done with Hinowa Ga Crush. I'll probably still keep reading it, but we're done on Mangalku. I picked these purely because I thought the covers were cool.
That's the roots, man. Because isn't plus size elf the same thing?
Yeah,
these are
fresh, sealed.
Okay,
it's Dead Mount Death Play is what we're reading
Yo,
next.
that does look cool.
So these aren't going to be able to stand up. I'll put them in post. So we're going to do the first 3 volumes, Dead Mount Death Play. From my knowledge, it is a bit of an isekai manga, which is where the classic trope where someone from another world gets transported over to another world.
Okay.
So classic trope like that. And I think the setup is from the back of volume 1
Would you like me to read that at some point?
Legendary heroes are fighting a necromancer. Necromancer is about to lose. His last-ditch effort is that he knows how to do reincarnation. And boom, he reincarnates into another world. And then it picks up from there. So that's going to be the next one we pick. That's going to be April's. So it'll be on the first Friday of April is when we'll be back.
So before
go ahead.
You know my favorite anime is Darker Than Black.
Uh-huh.
This is that guy with the cigarette. And I'm like hyped as fuck because this looks so cool and I'm getting vibes from that. Like it may not be anything like
And a little known fact for you guys out there in the book world, we always joke about it. If a manga comes sealed, like wrapped, you know some shit's going down in there.
Oh,
because they don't want people to look into it. So it's like,
I can't bring this to work.
Like it's hella parental advisory, whether it be gore or like some sort of nudity.
There's a parental warning right
here.
Yeah,
it's hella parental advisory. So we're going to call it right there. Thanks for watching. If you guys read along with us or feel free to leave in the comments down below your thoughts because we basically talked the shit out of this. So I'd love to know what other people see. Even if you haven't seen Akame Ga Kill, I'd love to know what you thought. Because I think that's a more interesting take. If you haven't seen Akame Ga Kill, can you read this?
Yeah.
So we will see you guys next month for Dead Mount Death Play.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching. So be sure to leave a like and subscribe on the video. It helps us out. We're almost at 1,000. Yes. So that's coming up very big. Thanks to everybody who came over from the Anime Sensei channel. This is gonna be the last time I say that, but thank you very much.
Yeah.
You really helped us a lot, and let's get to 1,000.
Yeah.
So that'll be our next big milestone. And see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.